Hello and welcome to Adaptation, the ultimate vlog for film adaptations and the original material they're based on. I'm Jessica Dunn, and if you've been with us for a while, you may already know about one of our favorite segments that we like to do in vlog form, Dreamcasts. Each year in September, our hosts choose a few choices for our top adaptations that we wish existed, and then throughout the year, we dedicate a few vlogs to dreaming about what those adaptations could look like in an ideal world. For my Dreamcast this time around, I have the honor of casting The We Free Men, the first book in Terry Pratchett's Tiffany aching sequence for young adults. For those of you who haven't read it yet, why are you even watching this? You should go get it right now! You will thank me. It is hilarious and amazing and just full of the magic that is so Terry Pratchett. It's set in his iconic Discworld and tells the story of Tiffany Aching, a young trainee witch, as she battles the Queen of the Fairies to recover her kidnapped brother, save the Baron's son, and protect her beloved Chalk from all manner of fae. Best of all, they're already talking about making a film of this, so we'd better get cracking if we don't want to get scooped with the casting. Of course, the most important character to cast for this is Tiffany Aching herself. In this book, she's 11, though by the end of her 5-book arc, she's late teens, early 20s. But casting for a precocious 11-year-old, I mean, what was I thinking? I'm awful at casting child actors. Let's just boil it down to the important bits. Tiffany is clever and no-nonsense and practical to a fault. She's not frilly, she's a hardened farm girl who comes from a long line of shepherds. She has close family ties, but she's not demonstrative or affectionate. She has roots, and the Chalk, her home, is almost an extension of herself. So it's quite a depth of character to ask of a preteen actress. But I think Millie Bobby Brown has shown herself up to the task. She was first seen as young Alice in Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, but then really hit her stride as Eleven in Stranger Things. The range and the depth of emotion that she was able to portray in that role, with a limited vocabulary, was mind-boggling for one so young, and I would love to see what she could do with a more comedic role. But then, only a fraction of the humor in The We Free Men actually comes from Tiffany, so Millie Brown will need some excellent and hilarious supporting characters in the form of the We Free Men themselves, also known as the Knack-Mack-Feagles. These 6-inch tall, bright blue pixies are Tiffany's somewhat dubious guides to fairyland, and would probably be rendered in CGI in pretty much any adaptation, so we're going to choose some voice actors for these ones. The two most important pixies from The We Free Men, in my opinion, which I'll admit was entirely based on which were the funniest, we've got Rob Anybody, who was the head man of the clan, and his quite addle-pated brother, Daft Woolly. So, whose dulcet tones will voice these kilt-clad Scottish pixies? For Rob Anybody, I've cast Craig Ferguson for one very specific reason, in that he voiced Gobber from How to Train Your Dragon. In this role, he was also Scottish, and as such, he had just the right amount of humor and odd affection. And even more self-indulgently, I've chosen David Tennant to voice Daft Woolly. Beyond my mad love for the 10th Doctor and his seldom-used Scottish accent, David Tennant also narrated the audiobook for How to Train Your Dragon, and he has mad chops when it comes to doing the voice acting. With their warring Scottish accents, I think these two could be quite the comedic pair. My next casting choice is for Roland, the unfortunate Baron's son who loses himself in fairyland for over a year and is saved by Tiffany on her quest to rescue her brother. Roland is a bit know-it-all and superior, and he comes across as patronizing to Tiffany a lot because he's older and supposed to be the hero, but she never lets him get the better of her. And there's really never any question about who's really doing the saving here and who's the real damsel in distress. And for this role, I've cast Simpkins, who you might recognize from Jurassic World. He's used to being saved, so he should fit in quite well with that role. Has more of a talent of finding girls that have the potential to be raised up as witches and training them up as such. And when I picture her in my head, I picture Dame Judi Dench. Just the right amount of authority and approachability. Miss Tick is a sharp contrast to the last witch that we have to cast, Granny Weatherwax, who has a very small role in The We Free Men. But let's be honest, any role that Granny Weatherwax plays is never really that small. Plenty of authority, but not quite as approachable. Granny Weatherwax is a legend among the witches. Witches don't have leaders, but if they did, she is the unofficial leader of the witches. She's probably my favorite character in all of Discworld, and therefore there was only one actress who stood head and shoulders above any other to be able to play Granny Weatherwax. And of course, that is Dame Maggie Smith. As the face of Minerva McGonagall, she's already added one badass witch to her repertoire, so it seems only natural that she should truly be crowned as the Witch of Witches. So there's our all-star lineup for my dream version of The We Free Men. I think it's quite a good mix of old and new faces and voices in Hollywood, and I for one will be very interested in seeing the cast list when they do come out. Hopefully it won't be too long. But in the meantime, while this is the only cast list in existence, what do you think? Any castings you particularly like, any you disagree with, or have we missed out on any characters that you think we should have cast? As always, we love to hear your take on things. Also, don't forget to subscribe, look us up on any of our social media pages, and check out our podcast on iTunes. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, arm yourself with a frying pan! Tiffany Aching did it first. Mystic. Yeah, see what Terry Pratchett did there.